Today I would like to share the Jews' calendar days and months and holidays. The Jews' calendar is known as the Ha-Luah Hebrew, and the Jews' calendar is primarily for the agriculture and is different from the Gregorian calendar as we use in English calendar. The Jews' calendar can be calculated into two ways based on the Hebrew lunar system, which has the 354 days, and according to prophetical, if you read in the Bible, you will see 360 days consist of 30 days in each month. Jews' calendar begins from the Nisan, then Iyar, then Sivan, and goes on till Adar. The beginning of the Jews' calendar is between the March and April in the English calendar. The Jews' days and weeks is calculated days by looking Genesis chapter 1 verse number 5, where it is said, there was evening and there was morning the first day. So in Hebrews, day is Yom and evening is Erev, and the morning is Boker. So the Jews calculate from sunset to next day sunset. It is a 1 day for Jews calculation of a day. But the Jews, they begins at the sundown. That's from the sunset of from 6 p.m. To 6 a.m. is what we have is sunrise. So it's about 6 p.m. is evening, and that is up to 9 p.m. is evening or evening watch. Then we have a port watches is 3 hours from 9 p.m. to 3 p.m. And the 3 a.m. to 6 p.m. is morning watch. Then you got a morning daylight hours is sunrise from 6 p.m. to all the way 6 p.m. So it is the Jews' day begins at the sundown and ends by sundown, which is 1 day. You have a red is a Jews' time, and you have a black is our time. So for us, this 12 noon is for Jews. It is a 6th hour. 1 is a 7th hour, and we got it 8th hour, 9th hour, 10th hour, 11th hour, and it goes up to there. So the first hour of a Jews begins from 7 p.m. and goes all the way to 11th hour. That's the 5th in the evening. Here we have a Jews or Hebrews week name. Usually, as like English has the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but the Jews has no week name. They would calculate as the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, and fifth day, sixth day, and Sabbath day, which is Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni, Yom Sislisi. I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing rightly. I'm not Jew, so find difficulties, but that's how they have. And then Yom Rivi, Yom Hamesi, Yom Sisi, and Yom Sabbath. Jews has no name for the days, as I mentioned to you, and every day is leading towards the Sabbath. And the resting day for Jews is the 7th day, that's on Saturday. Jews doesn't rest in order to work, rather Jews work in order to rest. That's in a Sabbath day, and that's from Exodus chapter 20, verse number 9 to 10. So the Jews' holidays has to do with the Passover, unleavened bread, fast fruit, Pentecost, and you got it, trumpets, atonement, and tabernacles. So this is the Jews' festivals in different months. And as I said to you, the Jews' calendar is different than the Gregorian calendar. This is the Jews' holiday, and I took this one from the internet source. That's from Google, and that's based on the 2021 2020 to 2021, the Jews calendar of all the holidays that is being performed within the Jews context. So we'd like to look at every Jews holidays and their significance, as I would like to share to you. First, the celebrations is the Sabbath day. That's the Jews' a holiday. It is resting day on a sixth day. That's on a Saturday, and it begins on a Friday 6 p.m. and ends by the Saturday 6 p.m. A woman lights candles and bless the Lord for His provisions. During Sabbath day, Jews are forbidden to burn fire, to carry money, travel, and work. Today they are forbidden to drive car to long distance. It's Passover, a Pesach, or the Feast of Unleavened Bread. If you read in the Old Testament, you will come across the Lord say to Moses, "I am the Lord, the blood of the Passover lamb will be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I shed the blood, and I will pass over you." That's in Exodus chapter 12, verse number 13. And they need to apply the blood on the doorpost so that when the angel of the Lord comes to destroy the firstborn of every male child in the Egyptians' kingdom, at the night, the angel of the Lord will pass over whenever the angel sees the blood that is being applied on the doorpost. And then you have God's rescuing of the Jewish people, because they have applied the blood on the doorpost, and when the angel sees the blood, angel who is going to destroy would pass over the house of Israelites, and to remember that one, the Jews have a festival named as the Passover. Now the Jews also have the celebration of a Passover. Once in every year, the Jews would have a Passover lamb is being sacrificed in a temple. To remember God's protections, Jews celebrate in the month between March to April. Israel is to commemorate how they were liberated from the hand of Egyptians. That's in Exodus chapter 13, verse number 3. So Jews celebrated this by Paschal lamb, by sacrificing in the entrance of the tabernacle later in the Jerusalem temple, afternoon 14 Nisans, and was eaten in the month of 15 Nisans at the night. And that's how they celebrate for the Passover. Today, since the Jews has no temple to go and to celebrate, they would love to celebrate in a home itself or in a synagogue. The second one is the day of Pentecost, or what you call is a Sabbath. Pentecost comes from the Greek word Pentecoste, meaning 50th. And it is celebrated on the 50th day after the Passover. The celebration is known as the Feast of a Week, or Feast of 50 Days. So Feast of Harvest is to be celebrated and commemorated in order to remember God's faithfulness and how God has provided. In Hebrew language, it is known as a Sabbath. This festival is known as the Harvest Festival as well. In Exodus chapter 23, verse number 16, Numbers 28, verse number 26, Leviticus 23, verse number 16 is where the biblical reference. You can check it out and see this is the festival of the Pentecost. The next one is the Feast of Tabernacles, and it is celebrated of ingathering at the end of the year. That's in Exodus 34, verse number 22. This feast also celebrated in order to remember the Exodus narrative and the dependence of God's provisions in the wilderness in Leviticus chapter 23, verse number 42 and 43. So this festival lasts for 7 days, and it is a pilgrimage festival. So they would go to the temple and celebrate of how God provided during the time of wilderness journey. The other festival is the Jews' New Year. And interestingly, the Jews got a 4 New Year. The first one is Rosh Hashanah. The New Year of Jews falls in Tishrei. The English calendar falls in September, and in the Bible it is known as the Teruah, which means the day of shouting and blasting, literally. That's in Numbers 29, verse 1. The second New Year is the Passover in Exodus. It is known as the head of a month. It is celebrated as New Year because of the formation of the Jewish people. The third festivals or the New Year is the Tub Sheebet. It marks the body of the trees, and it is time to focus on planting and nurturing life-giving organism. It is on the 5th of Shebat. So the English calendar is between January and February. Other festival is the Day of Atonement, which is the Yom Kippur. This is observed to atone the misdeeds and be cleansed. This was observed in the 10th day of Tishrei. This is in the month of September. On this day, the high priest goes to the most holy place to sacrifice the lamb on behalf of every Israel for the cleansing of sin. And people would have a fastings and prayer, abstaining from the physical pleasures in order to get pardoned or cleansing of sins, and they can go and stay for 1 year more, and they would seek God's forgiveness. The other festival is the Purim, and this is celebrated to commemorate the deliverance from the hand of Haman, as mentioned in the book of Esther. During this celebration, people listen from book of Esther, and giving food to people and celebration takes place. Jews also celebrate the festival of a light, or it is the festival of Hanukkah. And this festival is celebrated to remember how Maccabees successfully liberated from the hand of Antiochus Epiphanes IV in 2nd century BCE, and Hanukkah is celebrated for 8 days in the month of 25th Kislev, that's in the month of December. This festival is celebrated by lighting candle. The other festival is Holocaust memory, or Yad Vashem. During the Second World War, Jews were massacred by the Nazi, that's the Adolf Hitler, every one of us know. Between 1941 to 1945, 6 million Jews were killed. On 19 August 1953, this memory day was established, and the location of this place is Mount Herzl. The other holiday is Memorial Day, or Yom HaZikaron. Yom HaZikaron is the national remembrance day observed in Israel for all Israeli military personnel who lost their lives in the struggle that led to the establishment of the state of Israel, and for those who have been killed subsequently while on active duty in Israel's armed forces. And I've taken this one from Wikipedia. The last holiday I would like to share is the Independence Day of the Jewish nations. In 14 May 1948, Israel was declared as independent country, and this is celebrated as Independence Day of Israel. This was done under the leadership of David Ben-Gurion just before 8 hours of British mandate of Philistine, and this was the Jews' festivals, days, and holidays. And I hope this is informative, and I hope this also can help you to understand when you read the Bible. Thank you for listening. God bless you.